So you're a tabletop role player and you're looking to kind of cross into being a game master, and that's so awesome. Or maybe you're an experienced game master looking for other tips. Well, I'm Scott's Case Files, and I'd like to share 5 of my favorite game master tips with you. So first of all, congratulations. Taking that step, being a game master in a role-playing game is a little scary, you know? You're now just not in charge of your character anymore. You're in charge of potentially the world, depending on how narrative or not your system might be. And that's a big leap. So I'm very proud of you. I don't know you, but I'm very proud of you for taking this step and kind of checking, some things out, looking for tips on how to do it better, and get some experience on your belt. So let's just jump into it. So tip 1, the players are not your adversaries. And this is, for beginner game masters especially, this is a big one. You plan this awesome adventure, you have this perfect villain, they have a quote for them as they get, the players, the characters in their trap and whatnot. And the characters just bulldoze straight over them, and that's taken from you. Or they choose not to go down that hallway that you want them to go down, etc., etc. There's this, I think for beginner game masters especially, there's this tendency to take it personally. like I planned this cool thing and you destroyed it, you bypassed it, you outwitted me, and now I'm going to get back at you. This is kind of like knee-jerk reaction, and don't do that. So for the characters, their job, if there is such a thing as a job being a role-playing game character, is to overcome the obstacles of the world, the things that the game master puts in front of them. So if they easily bypass or defeat one of your prize characters or the scene or whatnot, kudos to them. They did what they're supposed to do. Now this doesn't mean there are no consequences for things they do. That's also part of role-playing. But if you're gonna, but make sure that it's not retribution when you do that. There's also this tendency for, I think, more new game masters to kind of then, this was easy for them, let's ramp it up to the next level, let's make it nearly impossible and see how they do that. And that's also not great. I mean, definitely challenge your players to succeed in whatever you put in front of them. But it's not, again, don't make it punitive. Make it so it's a nice challenge for them. That's part of their experience, is being challenged and overcoming that challenge. So definitely give them a challenge, but don't be punitive. This is not personal. This is all fun. You've regardless of what happens in a given scene or adventure, you've all created this new story, and that is so cool. And you did it together. They couldn't have done it without you, and you couldn't have done it without them. So they're not your adversaries. They're your partners in creating this story, in creating this fiction. So just keep that in mind. That's number 1. That's really important, I think. So number 2, everyone gets equal spotlight. So if you've played role-playing games any amount of time, you've been in the session where you showed up on time, maybe even brought like snacks for the group, drinks, you're all psyched up. This is like the best day of your week. You've been ramping up for this. It's so awesome. And you're happy to see your friends and get together and do something social and et cetera, et cetera. And you get there and you show up, you got your dice in hand, you got your character sheet. It's so cool. It's going to be so wonderful. And then one person is the only one that really gets to participate in the entire session. And you sit there and you watch. We've all been there. And if you haven't, you will be. And that sucks. So it's like, yeah, I mean, on one hand, yes, you're as a player, you're part of that whole team. You're like, oh yeah, way to go, dude, way to go, gal. And that's cool, but you came there to play. So and that sucks. And sometimes it's caused by the system. I'm looking at you with any game with hacking internet running in it. Yeah, I said it. So otherwise it could be, the game master has this thing going on. They want to really focus on a character, and that's really cool. There should be sessions where a character gets focus. This is their episode. But again, let's keep equal spotlight. So in a normal session where there is no character spotlight where we're like, you're doing something specifically to tell their story or get into their story or affect their story. Keep spotlight equal. If you have players 1, 2, 3, and 4, each should get around 25% of the activity time. If 2 characters in this big long fight scene, we'll break it up. Stop. Okay, hey, we hit this. We finished a round of debate or combat or what have you. Let's cut to this scene. So now these other 2 are together. So let's play their scene, and then we'll come back, and that kind of thing. Sometimes this is caused by shy players. They don't want to jump in. So as a game master, it's your job to kind of prod them for information. If 3 out of 3 players 1, 2, 3 have been playing in the scene, and player 4 has been really quiet, even though their character is present, ask them questions. Hey, player 4, so players 1 and 2 are doing that. What are you doing in the meantime? Or player 3 said this. What do you think about it? What's your character thinking right now? That kind of thing. So if they won't give themselves opportunities, push them to take opportunities, because again, let's give everyone equal spotlight. And when you get to those sessions where it's like, oh yeah, this is like where we talk about, this is where we discover the background of player 2. Well, that's great, and that's cool. So just make sure that for the remainder of the time, when they're not like solo or whatever, 1, 3, and 4 get equal time from what's left. And then make sure for every one of those, make sure that if player 1 has a spotlight episode, player 2, 3, and 4 should have a spotlight episode at some point along your campaign. So, pardon me, keep that in mind. So yeah, again, by the time a given session ends, every character who is present should feel that their character made a difference, and the outcome in some fashion of this session would have been different without them. So again, they make, not only give them extra time, but make them feel like they contributed, because that's what they're there for, and that's really important. So that was 1 and 2. I said there were going to be 5 tips for new game masters, but I actually decided to add a bonus one at the end, so stay tuned for that. But if you really like the content here and you appreciate what I'm putting out, think of like subscribing to my channel, liking this video, commenting on this video. I kind of want to hear what you're thinking. If you had 5 things to tell a new game master, 5 bits of information, tips on making things better and run more smoothly that you had, what would yours be? I want to know. Please tell me in the comments. I do want to know. I'm never done learning, and you shouldn't be either. So take that into account. So tip number 3, skip the boring parts. So your players are here on this game to have a good time. They're here probably have most of 99% of us, they have mundane lives. They go to work, they go to school, they do this and that, and they do this Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Sunday or whatever. And they're coming to you to kind of adventure, to have this experience outside themselves, something new and different and interesting, and break away from the mundane. So there's going to be times in your sessions where you're getting to the boring parts. Okay, so your character is a professor and has to grade papers. So should we role play through all the papers and go, oh, this one's good, that one's not good? No. Gloss over it. Okay, so you spend a while grading papers until midnight when the phone rings. And then, okay, so you've glossed over that, you've gone past the boring parts, and you've gotten to the next interesting part that hopefully includes other characters, going back to everybody gets equal spotlight. Again, we want to kind of bring other characters in when we can. It can also be, when you're about to hit a boring part, or everyone's kind of done a scene, and you want to kind of move, again, it's going to be boring, mundane stuff, and you want to move towards the next bit of adventure and, excitement. So, okay, is everyone okay with moving ahead to the party tonight at wherever? And they can either say, yeah, let's do that. Let's move ahead to the party, and then they're happy to see more action. Or one of them might say something like, hey, I just really want to do this scene doing this first, and then let's move. Well, cool. Regardless, you've skipped the boring stuff. Good job. You're ahead of the game. You're bringing people into their spotlight. You're moving the adventure and excitement forward and keeping the story going, and that's cool. So, keep that in mind. Skip the boring parts. Tip number 4. When the players get a new skill or item, let them use it. So, as characters advance, they get experience points or what have you, they're going to want to, get new things. They're going to get a new skill or a new level of skill or this cool item. And there's going to be various reasons they do that. It could be in response to the adventures you're running. Oh, hey, we've lacked this skill or this item for these last couple of, sessions. I want to get this so we're ready for the next one. So that's cool. Sometimes they get them because they're cool. I would think this would be so cool if my character could do this, so I'm getting it and I'm going to totally do it. And other times they'll get things to kind of tell you as the game master what they're looking to experience, like the kinds of adventures are going on, the kind of excitement they're looking for, the kind of things they want to do. So regardless of what it is, figure out the why. Are they doing it because every session you require this thing and they haven't had it? Well, maybe, kind of keep that in the back of your head. Like, okay, so I knew they didn't have this thing and I still required it, or, and now they do, so that's cool. So keep requiring it then. That way, this person can use your thing. If they think it's cool and they never get to use it, that's so sad. That's so sad. So if they let them be cool, let them use it. Find a reason for them to, if they don't. And if they're getting this specific thing in order to kind of tell you as a game master what they're looking to do, like the new thing in the new position in the group they're trying to fill, or this thing that they want to do, let them do it. The worst thing you can do is make that experience spend worthless by never having, if they get to the end of your campaign or whatever without having used this thing, that's a sad day for them, and for you. Because you missed out on this cool opportunity to get them in doing something that they really, really were excited to do. So you let them use it. If they get it, find a reason for them to use it, and you'll make their day so much better. And you'll make this experience spend that they made feel worthwhile, and they'll appreciate that. I assure you. Tip number 5. Be the character's biggest fan. Now, I had already kind of done this, intrinsically through my time as a game master, but I never saw it written out in words until I started playing Powered by the Apocalypse games, and where that's actually a principle of many of them games. Be the character's biggest fan. If they do something cool, let them know. And here's the thing: don't make stuff up, don't exaggerate, but they're gonna do a lot of cool things in given sessions, your players and your characters. They're going to do so many cool things. And just take a second to recognize that. Say, they do this cool acrobatic thing. Take a second to say, and they made the roll by the skin of their teeth. They shouldn't have made it. It was so lucky. Take a second and just say, hey, that was so cool. I was holding my breath when the dice rolled, and you did it. And it looked so cool. Describe how it looks, or whatever. So be present for the cool things your characters do, and let them know that. Communicate it, how cool something is, or how you love the thought they had on this one ability, or how they used it, or the creativity they're doing. So do it, and you will see their faces light up once they see that they have this biggest fan in the game master. All right, so yeah, do that. Now, before we get to our bonus tip, I do just want to point out that I'm only human. As a game master, I've been game mastering since I was a kid, and as you may be able to tell, lack of hair and the grayness of it, I'm kind of old. So I've been game mastering for a long time, and the thing is, as I kind of mentioned before, I'm still learning. I'm always looking for new tips and new stuff, and again, in the comments, tell me about it. I want to learn more, and also I don't always follow my own rules. It's a trained skill. For some of these, I've had to kind of train myself. Do this. And, sometimes I just slip up. I forget, or I don't do the thing, and, nobody's perfect. But when you kind of put on that game master hat, recognize that you're going to mess up sometimes. And the best you can do is do better next time. And just that attitude alone is going to really make you a better game master as you go along. So now, for what you've been waiting for, the bonus tip. Bonus tip is possibly the most important. Have fun. So if you stop having fun, if a system gets too arduous, if a campaign gets too dramatic or burdensome, or if people are, starting to not show up because they find it boring, or it's just not going in the direction they wanted, or whatever, change it up. When you stop having fun, move to something else. If it's the system that's bogging you down, move to a different system. If the campaign has kind of found its edge and, you're jumping the shark, time to end the campaign maybe, and for you and your characters, and make something new, make something fresh. If your players aren't getting what they want out of it, ask them what's going on. Where's the fun lacking for you? And if what they have to say makes a lot of sense to you, change it. And then you're back in the fun zone. Always be in the fun zone. I kind of mentioned, game mastering being a job, or, it's hard. But it shouldn't be a job. If you feel like you're punching a clock every time you meet with your group, the fun is gone. And it's okay as a game master to say, hey, you know what? My fun factor, I'm not in the fun zone. Let's do something else. And talk about it with your people. These are, in theory, reasonable people you're playing with. They're your friends, or your casual acquaintances you met on the internet, or whatever, But regardless, everybody should be having fun. If you're not, switch something up. So that was the bonus tip. So yeah. So again, let's go over the rules, or the tips. So the players are not your adversaries. So remember, don't take it personally when they succeed, because that's what they're there to do. Everyone gets equal spotlight. You don't want to have your player go for a whole session feeling like they didn't contribute anything at all, like their presence didn't mean anything. That sucks for them. Don't do that. Skip the boring parts. We don't need to know the minutia of a character's life, because it's probably as mundane as the one that your players are trying to escape from. That's why they come to you. They come to you for excitement, adventure, and a step out of reality for a second. When the players get a new thing, let them use it. Skill, item, whatever. Let them use it. Find reasons for them to use it. When they're kind of prodding for opportunities to use it, let them use it. Be the character's biggest fan. Again, I don't want you to make stuff up. I don't want you to over exaggerate or anything, but just take the time to voice when something happened that was so cool. And it's so easy. We're role players, gosh darn it. We are creative people, and your players are creative people, and recognize that and express that, and you will go far. And of course, the bonus, always have fun. So again, when a game has become not fun, change something up. Again, where that's the system, the campaign, the things you're doing within various sessions, etc. So I hope you found that useful. Again, there are so many Game Master tips out there that could be given. These are my top 5, 6, including the bonus, that I can think of that really make a difference to me and my players. So there's so many out there. And again, if you have some others that you want to share, please do it in the comments. Let me know. And if you're interested in what I'm putting out, I have other, 5 tips guides to various systems. I have a lot of actual plays out there. Think of subscribing to the channel, hit the bell, to be notified when I put out extra content, which is weekly. You can also, like my video. I would really love it if you like this video. It lets me know that this is something that is working for you. And comment on it. Again, I want to hear back from you. YouTube is kind of our way to communicate back and forth through comments, and I want to hear what you have to say. So I'm Scott's Case Files, and thank you for joining me. I hope this has been useful to you, and I hope you have a great day. I hope everything goes right for you. I hope your gaming sessions are all amazing, because they will be. It's so scary to put on a Game Master's hat, but trust me, it's totally worth it, and you did the right thing. So have fun, and take care. Bye for now.